Doug NPA back with another video, and make sure to like and subscribe button on the way in. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and the content on this channel. Guys, there is an epidemic out there in the social media sphere. What is that epidemic? I call it the filter epidemic. Guys, I want you to really think about this. When's the last time you saw a photo of a woman you didn't know that didn't have a filter on it? Think about the TikToks. Think about the Instagram reels. All filters. You can do sorcery with these filters now. And apparently, according to this summary of this report, 90% of young women report using a filter or editing their photos before posting. This is from City University in London. So let's see what the City University of London found out about this phenomenon. The summary says 90% of women report using a filter or editing their photos before posting to even out their skin tone, reshape their jaw or nose, shave off weight, brighten or bronze their skin, or whiten their teeth. Sorcery, guys. Shape shifting with these filters, guys. Young women in the study also described regularly seeing advertisements or push notifications for cosmetic procedures, particularly for teeth whitening, lip fillers, and surgery to enhance face and body features. And guys, I'm gonna be frank up front, guys. Men, uh, men don't want this stuff. Women do this to make other women jealous of their social media and their look. But most men, we want a natural woman. No lip filler, no enhanced jaw, no none of that. No BBLs, none of that. 80% of social media consumption is women. So women do everything listed here for women. It continues. The report, Changing the Perfect Picture, Smartphones, Social Media, and Appearance Pressures, is based on research with 175 young women and non-binary people in the UK. And I'm going to add to that. So in the United States, over 70% of non-binary people identified are biological white women. And I would assume that the reason why they interviewed non-binary people was most of them were women, and it's the UK, so they're probably white women too. It says covering a range of issues, experience of lockdown, feelings about body positivity. There's two of our favorite words, guys. How to support for Black Lives Matter. Wait, how can supporting this lead to you using filters more? Whatever. The research documents young people's persistent anger with the mass media that they deem too white, too heterosexual, and too focused on very narrow definitions of beauty. All this victimhood. Oh, poor me. Professor Gill said a critique of perfection ran through the research like a bass track, with young people telling me that they feel overwhelmed by images that are too perfect. Now, let's say young people, she means young women. Let's get that straight. Women of color, disabled women, and gender non-conforming folk told me they rarely see anyone like them in media. It's because they're a small percentage of the population, especially disabled women and gender non-conforming. The report raises particular issues about how appearance standards are narrowing and how the affordance of smartphones, e.g., magnification and screenshotting, together with editing and filtering apps like Facetune. I never even heard of this, but I don't use filters. I'm a man. Are contributing towards a society in which young people, she keeps saying young people, but young women feel feel under constant forensic scrutiny by their peers. 90% of women report using a filter or editing their photos before posting to even out their skin tone. Okay, we went over that. Young women in the study also describe regularly seeing advertisements. Okay, we went over that too. Social media algorithms meant that, as one 21-year-old put it, once you look, you will never be allowed to forget. Professor Gill said, with nearly 100 million photos posted every single day on Instagram alone, we have never seen such a visually dominated society. And that's true, 100%. But once again, who consumes this and who pushes this the most? Women. Posting on social media can produce the intense pleasure of getting likes and appreciative attention, but it is also a source of huge anxiety for most young women. I was struck by young women saying to me again and again, I feel judged. Here's the thing about that. You can't put things out in a public space and say, you can't judge me. You posted it for public consumption. And you can't get mad at any pushback. If you don't like a picture or you don't want it to be judged, don't put it on social media. Nice and simple. Professor Gill noted that while the research would have been important at any time, the unique context of the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown gave it a particular urgency. She said day after day, reports were published highlighting the devastating mental health impacts of the pandemic on young people, their education suddenly halted, their freedoms curtailed, with many experiencing financial hardship, emotional difficulties, or bereavement. Guys, I graduated high school in 1999. I couldn't imagine having 2 years of my high school at home. That would have been nuts. Or having your school year cut short. So there's I am Doug MPA is not good, completely heartless. Not I have a little bit of a heart and emotion over here, guys. Research helps to shed light on how a diverse sample of young people navigated this challenging time, as well as offering more general insight into their lives. In some ways, young people's familiarity with online tools and platforms better prepared them relative to older groups for the lockdown period in which so many aspects of life moved online, including work, education, psychological and health services, and social lives. In other ways, as the report shows, they've experienced heightened pressure and distress. Now, here's one thing that I don't understand. We have a more comfortable life now more than ever. And maybe it's because I'm in my 40s and I'm finally at that point where I can say, oh, these young people don't know how hard it could be. Maybe I'm one of those, when I was your age, I walked to school uphill both ways in the snow. Maybe I'm to that point now. But online, difficulties with stuff online or cyberbullying, all that stuff, guys, get out of here. Come on. I'm not buying it. It says, in other ways, as a report, okay, the research was funded by City of University of London and carried out by the Gender and Sexualities Research Center. GSRC analyzes how gender and sexuality intersect, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it's really tough to see pictures without filters on them, particularly with women. And now they have that one where you could put a filter on and you could put your hand in front of it. Or you've seen those articles about women who are using that de-aging AI filter that makes them look younger and they're getting sad about how they used to look. As ultimately, you make the decision to participate in social media. You make the decision to post. You got to deal with the consequences. And over here, I say if you don't like what social media is about, close your Instagram. Nice and easy. Guys, tell me what you think about this. Comment below, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.